Hello and happy Friday. So I thought I would jump on and do a video demo to show you how to create this sort of stamped out text feature. So it's basically where you've got some text and it looks like the text is stamping through some sort of object to show through the background behind. This was something that someone was asking about in the group a little while ago, and I sort of did a demo in terms of recreating it, figuring out how to do it, and explained the steps, and was asked to do a little video on it. And I kept meaning to do it and didn't get around to it, so I thought I would do it today. But I'm going to do a little twist on it, and as Valentine's Day is around the corner, I thought I would do something that is very love themed, very focused on that. As always, if you want to drop a comment below, let me know if you're watching. I can answer any questions if you're joining me live. If you're watching on replays, #replay. It's really great to see who's watching this. Any key takeaways you get from this? Are you inspired to create something based on what I show you today? We're all here to learn, so please let me know how you're getting on. So like I said, this was on here on the left-hand side is something that someone sent me to say, how can you create this effect? So I had a little go, and this is what I sort of created there. If I show you here, I did a little mini training to in a Q&A that I did for the members of Lovely Canva Club, that's the paid members, and showed them how I did it here. But I'm going to do another one today, especially for you guys. So I'm just going to create something here where I'm going to go to the photos and I'm going to have a little look for love related stuff. There's some love here. I want something that has got a bit of a pattern, because if we look here, you want some enough detail that it shows through, that it makes sense that there's something there. So we'll see what I could put there. I think maybe this one would be quite nice. There's sort of some love heart shining through. I'm not going to fill the whole page with it, because I want to show what it could look like if it was more a square format if need be, and just sort of give myself a bit of flexibility just for the purpose of this demo. You could, of course, put it in a Instagram template and create your own of this, but for now, this is sort of what I'm going to create. Okay, so next what we need to do is go to elements, and you want to scroll down. You can either search and put frames, or you can just scroll down and see where it says frames here. And if you click on that and scroll all the way down, down, more. Okay, so here we have some photo frames which are shaped like letters. So this is what I used to build the text where it says here website. I just use these. So there is a restriction in terms of that there isn't a choice of fonts. It's literally these capital letters that are there. But that's how it is. This is what's there. So I'm going to get the letters to write out love, because it's Valentine's, and I'm going to spread them out. I'm going to make sure that they stay on the same row, the line. If you want to make sure that you're keeping things lined up, what you can do is click on File. You want to show rulers. Got a Happy Valentine's Day from #Stalker. I'm presuming that's Paul Green. Hello, if it's you. Let's go back here. I can't actually see people's names unless you click on StreamYard's linky thing. So otherwise you just show up to me as saying Facebook user. So I'm going to spread them out. I'm also going to click on all 4 letters, and I'm going to size them down a little bit more so that I can put a bit of space. And you could use the position tool to do tidy up as well. That just tries to sort of align it up and spread it out. I'd say it's probably not quite enough spread out, so let's move it along. So yeah, so in terms of adding your own guides, you need to show rulers, which I just did a minute ago before I got distracted by my happy Valentine's little comment. And you want to show guides. Yep. So you can see that some guides that I put in before now appear. So that's something you always have to opt in if you coming back to a previous design where you've already put them in. So if I move that around now, I can make sure that it's lined up top to bottom. Another thing that I can do is if I want it centered on the page, there's not centered to there. I'll probably need to select all of them, and then you want to use the pink guide, which has just popped up that shows there. So I could then move that down there and align that to there. So I'm quite overall happy with the look of that. Now what I'm going to do now is bring my object in. So this is what's going to stamp through. So at the moment, if I put the image within there, you're just having an image on top of an image. So let's go back to elements, and I'm going to type in heart. And I'd quite like something that is a bit more kind of longer, I suppose, would be nice. Maybe if we have like 2 hearts. There's that one. That could work quite nicely. Oh. And I'll copy that. Put that there. I might flip it that way, do a bit of overlapping. Maybe do some of that. I might change that back actually. Just talk amongst yourselves while I mutter to myself. And I'm going to move it a little bit smaller. So I want to make sure that the area that the text is going to sit on is covered. So I'm going to group those because I think that's going to make it a bit easier, and I'm going to send it backwards. Let's move that over there so we can get a better view. So position backwards so it's popping behind there. And I think I might actually hide the guides because I don't need them now. And I will resize that as well. Or I will resize these, I think. I want them a bit smaller. Okay, I think that will do for now. So we've got this object here. I'll group them again just because. So now what we need to do is bring in that picture into these individual letters so that they look like you're seeing through these hearts that I've popped in front. So we need to go back to photos and should be able to see recently used. So I need to then pop them into each one. And there will be more that we'll need to do. So I can show you why this is not gonna, that's not it. So at the moment, if we double click on that, that's the size of that image that's now popped in. It's kind of resized it to small, but then you've got the main image, which is that size. So we need to make it bigger, and you want to try and match as closely as possible by sort of overlaying that so it's lined up. So you wouldn't want to do this on like lots of text. If you had something that was a really long word or sentences, you'd be here for ages. So doing sort of a small amount of text like this, it's okay, it's, you know, part of a design feature. But, you know, I think you'd have to be really into this sort of look to want to do it a lot. And let's bring that over. And you can see how I'm using the background image as like my guide. I don't think you need to be like 100% perfect because it's sort of, there is a bit of kind of forgiveness. But, you know, try and get it as close as possible. So my stalker is saying, is this my Valentine card that you're designing? Yes, spoiler alert. Okay, so now we've got this here. It's sort of looking at that and going, well, is that enough kind of contrast through? If I make a duplicate and play around with sort of some other objects that could maybe sit behind. So if we just had, say, a square. So if I get rid of the hearts a moment, and if I put that in here and move it backward, and maybe had a white block. So you can see now that there's a bit more contrast. Whereas I think the red hearts were maybe a bit too much. So let's see what would happen if I maybe change up some of the colours. Maybe make them all white. Okay. You can sort of play around with it. I guess it's sort of making sure that you can see that they are actually love hearts or not, which I think, you know, you can do to a point. Might actually bring in like a very soft pink. Let's see if we can. Here we go. So you could do something like that, which I think is quite nice. Maybe do a slightly different pink. Make that one that, and that one a bit dark again. Yeah, you want to do it the other way. Something like that. I probably could prat around with this for a bit longer, but I think you get the point. That you can see the image through. You know, it's going to vary on how effective it is. I think I prefer the sort of simplicity of that, you know, versus maybe that. And so it is a little bit of practicing, having a little play around with it. Once you put your letters in place, you don't really want to start moving that around. It's going to be a bit of a pain because then you would have to, if I move that down, then you would have to make sure that you sort of make sure that everything is adjusted for that. So you could put a bit of text in there and put in I. Let's make it bigger. Make it white. So it says, I love you. And uppercase. So you could do it like that. And there you go. There's that stamped out tool or effect. It's not really a tool because it's putting together various composite parts to create this look of the text is stamping through some sort of object, whether it's a sort of block like this, which is a bit simpler, or sort of a series of shapes, and sort of playing around with sort of the colours of that. So hopefully you found that useful. Apparently it looks fine. Send it as is with gin and chocolate. Okay, thanks for that. Hope you found that useful. Any questions about it, let me know. If there's anything you'd like me to train on, I'm hoping to make this as a sort of a more regular feature, doing a little mini demo on a Friday at some point, and can sort of train on a little piece or give a bit of a demo. So if you've got any ideas, you can message me direct or put a general post into the group. But have a great Friday, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.